Well, Jeff Lebby just sent a message to his team, to the fans, and maybe even to Georgia, from buying 500 tickets himself to calling out the run game and praising his quarterback's toughness. We break down everything he said and what it means for Mississippi State heading into Saturday.
You are Locked On Mississippi State, your daily podcast on the Mississippi State Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, thanks for making Locked On Mississippi State your first listen every single day, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. My name is Jaron Spor. I'm a national college football writer at Athlon Sports. That's Landon McBride. We've got a packed show for you today. Kamario Taylor was named SEC Freshman of the Week. We'll get Jeff Lebby's comments on that honor, and we'll also give our recruiting update in our last segment like we do every Wednesday. But first, let's start with some comments from Jeff Lebby in his press conference on Monday as we head into Georgia week. Landon, was there anything that kind of stood out to you?
I mean, this seemed like he talked more than normal, and it wasn't just as much coach speak as we normally get from Lebby. But the thing that jumped out the most is, you mentioned it in the tease, I realized we had more tickets out than we would all like, and I went ahead and bought 500 tickets.
Yeah.
When the head coach is going and buying 500, and he's asked later, did you do that? And he said, yes, I personally bought 500 tickets. Yeah. So
and apparently some players did too.
Yeah. When your head coach and your players are doing that for a game, like, this is a big game. Georgia, highly ranked team. You are one game away from bowl eligibility, and apparently there's so many tickets left on the market that those guys are going out to buy them to then give them out to get people in the stands. Kind of makes me wonder what we're doing out there. Like, why, like, what is keeping people from going to this game? Like, why are we not showing up? Why isn't it already sold out?
Yeah, that's, and we were kind of talking about this before we got started. I feel like that's calling out the fans when he's having to do that, because you're 5-4, you're one win away from a bowl game. Mm-hmm. I know it's not like you have playoff hopes on the line or anything, but you're in the process of a rebuild, and you're one win away from a bowl game. Georgia's coming down. That's a big-time opponent. It's not the Georgia from 21-22 that was just rolling everyone. Now it's a very good Georgia team, but they're beating people in close games. I mean, they're every team's almost in every game except for Kentucky against Georgia, and they were in it early and then kind of blew it late. But I just don't know how you as a fan aren't going to buy those tickets, because I remember even hearing it back when they played Tennessee, and that's a game you lose in overtime by 7, and there were people, and it looked like it on TV, that were like, man, there's might be more Tennessee fans here than Mississippi State fans. And okay, at that point, you're not fully believing, but still, you're 4-0 at that point. You win that game, you're probably ranked. But I get it. Maybe you're not fully sold on Mississippi State yet. Now you're 5-4, and you're having a really solid season, especially based off what you did last year. Like, you would think they would like flood to the stadium, and for the coach and the players having to do that, that's not a good sign.
It's not. And you're probably not doing it if you're not in the student section, but man, you got a chance to storm the field. I mean, that's always a fun thing to get a chance to do that. But, and even if you're not doing it, it's awesome to watch it happen on top of that. So, I mean, this is just a weird situation to have. I mean, this is, like we mentioned, it's a good season. It's better than what a lot of people expected this team to do. And even the games you've lost, you've been in them. Georgia's letting people hang around in almost every game. You play like you did against Texas, against Tennessee, you're in this at the end, and maybe you get that one play this time that you didn't get in those games, and you get the win here. And we have fans who aren't ready to show up to this game. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's just, again, like, back to what I was saying, like, you would think for a game like this, they would be ecstatic to be there for it. And again, you even mentioned, like, hey, you get a chance at rushing the field. Like, that's a really cool experience to rush the field, and you have a chance to do it. But props to him for buying the tickets, and sounds like he's going to give them out to maybe some students or something to get them there. But another thing is, Lebby talked about what it would mean for the program to be bowl eligible. he said it's huge for a lot of different reasons. I think, again, as we stand here today, and I don't talk about it with our football team, but thinking about where we were a year ago today and what the product looked like in comparison to what the product looks like today, to me, opposite ends of the spectrum. And he said some other things, but that couldn't be more spot on. I mean, it's definitely opposite ends of the spectrum. And we said before the year, that first year, you can get away with having a bad year with recruits because you can still get them to buy in based off what you're saying, because they understand, like, hey, it's a rebuild and it's going to take some time. Year 2, you need to start seeing results. And then year 3, obviously, you really need to see results. And so for them to go 5-4 and then possibly get into a bowl when not many people at all had them, what was it, 3.5, wasn't it? Their win for
3.5
season. That says a lot, and that's really good news for him if they're able to end up pulling it off. I think it's still good news to get the 5 wins, but if you're able to get bowl eligible, that's massive.
Yeah, this has been – I mean, I know both of us, we picked 5 or 6 wins for this team preseason, but for them to actually accomplish that means so much, not just for recruiting, but for, donors, building the NIL, getting the fan base re-energized, just getting everyone to come back to this program, believe in it. And it's huge. And another thing that you don't hear talked about a ton with making a bowl game, you get so many more practices,
right?
That it helps you develop all of these freshmen that maybe haven't played a ton. You get all of those guys a ton more practice. Red shirts don't count for that bowl game. So if there's a guy you've been redshirting, you can still run him out there for one more game in that bowl game, which helps you so much going into year 3, especially when you built what he's built. You've been so close so many times. I mean, if we wanted to, what are we, maybe 4 or 5 plays away from one loss? I mean, it's really where you are. And now you can sell that to recruits. If you're like, hey, we're bowl eligible, we want 6, maybe 7 games. If a handful of plays go a different way, we're maybe sniffing a back end of a low seed playoff spot. I mean, and that's the message you can sell to recruits. That's huge to have gone from 2-10 season the year before.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as the saying goes, you are what your record says you are. I still love that quote. But yeah, I mean, again, you still, like you mentioned, you can sell that to recruits. Like, hey, we made this progress already. And that's not with all of our guys yet. Yes, we've brought in our guys from the transfer portal, but I'm talking about like building our guys through recruiting. Like, that's not with y'all yet. And y'all could come here and be something special. Another thing that he addressed, didn't give a whole lot of details on, which most coaches don't with now the SEC availability report being a thing. But he was asked about Jahron Manning, Albert Reese, the 4th. Obviously, Albert Reese missed this previous game, and Manning got hurt during the game. He says those guys today, again, didn't do much today, but we'll let the Wednesday report speak to it. So just going off that, first off, for Albert Reese, he was kind of, questionable for most of the week, then got moved to doubtful, and then ended up not playing. Typically, that means that guy's going to probably play the next week. I think he even actually got moved to game time decision, not even doubtful.
Right.
And so for him still not to be doing anything is kind of surprising. So he must have had a setback of some sort. Manning, not as surprising because it kind of looked like he probably got a concussion. That's just my guess. I don't know if
not a doctor.
I at least haven't seen if Lebby said it for sure. And if it's a concussion, I would assume he's out this week because that's just typically what they do. I don't know his history. If he has a history of him, then he'll probably definitely be out and maybe even out another week. But I would assume he's out this week.
Yeah, it's also not too surprising that he didn't give us much to go off on with the availability reports that come out later. You would really hope that Albert Reese is back for this one. It just seems like it's one of those injuries, and without getting full details, it's one of those maybe that it's kind of different every day. Like, he's better, but some days it's just worse than others because there's a lot of injuries like that. Especially ones that involve like joints and stuff. Just one day you can wake up and it's like, nope, that doesn't happen. And I can't walk like a normal person today. Like, it's just those things that happen. So hopefully he is better because getting him back would be huge.
Yeah, and the offensive line didn't play terrible this past game, but and it didn't play great. But having him would have been obviously a big help. And not having him obviously made things a lot more difficult. But yeah, all right, going into next segment, we got to talk about Kamario Taylor. Obviously came in, had great 3 drives, leads 2 touchdown drives, got SEC honors. But what did Jeff Lebby have to say about him? We'll talk about that coming up next. Well, the NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, well, thanks for making Locked On Mississippi State your first listen every single day, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, so Lebby was obviously asked about Kamario Taylor. That's been a hot topic. He was asked about him and then also on him and Blake Shapen. But first, he was asked about him being named co-SEC Freshman of the Week. First, of course, he had to ask who the other guy was, and it was Kentucky's quarterback, Cutter Boley, who was named it. He said, I hadn't seen it yet, but no, I'm incredibly proud of what Kamario got in and went and did. He plays 3 drives, 2 of them ending in a touchdown. We ended up not converting on a 4th down. There's so many plays inside that series where we've got a chance to continue to get first downs inside that drive. We don't, but love the way he played. If he doesn't play the way he plays, then it's going to be really hard to find a way to be +1 at the end of the day. So much for him to clean up. That's what I love about him, how hard he is on himself as he watches the tape and knows that, man, he made some incredible plays, but there was a lot left out there in just 3 series that he played. A lot of coach speak and a lot of speak that you would expect from an offensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he played great, but I'll have to clean up. That's kind of how he is.
Yeah, but I mean, we all watched it and we saw, I mean, hey, as great as those 3 drives were and as exciting as it is every time he touches the ball, there was a lot to clean up. But, again, this was his first – I mean, I know he got game action early on, and he's been in packages.
Important game action.
But this is like his first real game action where something is really on the line, and he's thrown in the middle of it. Like, I'm sure he talked to him about, hey, yeah, we're going to have this package for you. We'll have this package for you. We're going to try to get you like 5 plays or something. Right. I'm sure he wasn't like, hey, 3rd quarter, we're going to be down. It's on you. Yeah. And he answered the call. I mean, you saw a couple throws. The one to the running back, he fired a little bit too hot, but I mean, that's something that could have just been pure adrenaline at that point, just uncorking it. But you'll see things like that. They'll come along.
Right.
It's exciting what he can be. And it's also, it's crazy that he got freshman of the year and he played 3 drives. That's it. 3 drives. Get an award.
And deservingly so, though.
Yes.
Because he was so good in those 3 drives.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Like, he's so good. All he needed was 3 drives to get an award. Like, imagine what he can do with full game.
Yeah. And hey, there's a lot of Mississippi State fans out there that would like to see what he can do in a full game. But yeah, no, I mean, it was well deserved, and he's played so well in that game and in those 3 drives. Cutter Boley obviously played well too, good enough to get that for Kentucky. But yeah, he's right when he says there was a lot of stuff he had to clean up. We talked about it on Monday's podcast. You can tell he's still not as polished of a passer as Blake Shapen is. There were some things that he airmailed the 4th down. That's a throw. It's a tough throw, but it's a throw that with some experience and being a little more polished as a passer, you expect him to eventually make. But when you come into a game, and that's one thing I will say about him right off the bat is he's a gamer, because when you come into a game and you're down like you are, and you're now thrown in with, like you mentioned, not experience, especially in a game when the game is still mattering as much outside of like their packages they run for him. And you have to go down the field and do different stuff and keep your team in it. And he was delivering. Like, that was just the most impressive thing to me, because how many people can be thrown into that? And now I get it. It's Arkansas. They're not a great team.
Yeah.
But just how many people could get thrown into that and respond the way he did?
Yeah, he did a great job responding to the situation he was put in through that. And Lebby goes on, he talks a lot about Kamario and Blake's relationship and about how like they're very close, which, you know, I know a lot of people want to be done with Blake Shapen, but I think he's also a good quarterback, the good type of quarterback to have ahead of Kamario, because I think Shapen's smart. He knows his limitations and his ceiling in football. And he sees Kamario and knows that man does not have those same type of limitations on what he can be. And so I'm sure he is giving him all the, you know, the mentoring, all the kinds of like how to watch film, things like that. He's really helping him. And you can see that relationship when find out that Blake gave the game ball to Kamario. Like Blake Shapen was given the game ball and he gave it to Kamario.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
And we see this more often in the NFL where there's an older veteran. This is the young hotshot first round pick, and you know, he just is the leader for him and helps develop him and helps mentor him and show him the ropes and stuff like that. You don't see it as much in college because usually that older guy is also, he's trying to get to the NFL. So he's like, I mean, I hope this guy does well, but I need to do well because I want to get to the NFL. So major props to him for saying, hey, I want to get to the NFL, but this guy is the future. And it's got to be tough. I mean, we got to talk about also like Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning. I bet that was tough on Quinn the 2 years he was with Arch Manning, because everyone's telling him anytime he misses a pass, hey, throw an Arch, put Arch in. But everything you heard was they were really good friends. He was a great mentor to Arch and all these great things. And I bet that's tough to do.
Yeah, it can't be easy. But I think there are situations too where, you know, these guys, you obviously are very good at what you do to make it to this level. Regardless of what fans say, you are very good at what you do. And at some point, you realize, you know, hey, this guy's next. And if I want to help this program, I have to make sure he's also ready to take over. And that seems to be happening. And we heard in the offseason about how much farther along Kamario seemed to be in like the reading of defenses and making these throws. And you kind of wonder, now that we're hearing more about their relationship and how close they are and how much they work together and stuff, did some of that come with just being around Shapen and seeing how he goes about his business? Because he understands what to do. He doesn't have the physical gifts to do everything, but he understands what to do. So maybe some of that got passed along, and that has helped his development accelerate.
Yeah, it should definitely pay a lot of dividends, especially when next season comes, and you know, we assume it's Kamario next season. Obviously, Luke Kromenhoek is still around and will fight for that job. Obviously, if he stays around. But yeah, it should pay a lot of dividends, and having that guy back there in your corner has to mean a lot to Kamario. And you know, I bet he'll look back if he has the career that a lot of people think he will have, and be thankful for what Blake has done for him. And so it is cool to see that relationship and them being tight, because Shapen knows Kamario's the future. He knows. And he knows there's a lot of people calling for Kamario to take his job. And yet he's still taking a professional approach about it. So, all right, coming up next, we will give you an update on some recruiting. Don't go anywhere. All right, well, thanks for making Locked On Mississippi State your first listen every single day, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, so let's dive into some recruiting news. One of the things that I saw that was kind of interesting is they offered another running back, Martavius Boswell, from the JUCO ranks, because obviously Booth will be gone. And then according to On3, it sounds like Johnny Daniels will redshirt this year, and then he will likely be gone as well. So it sounds like they're trying to add another running back to the class. Martavius was one that was mentioned. Cooper Crosby is another one. He's from Mississippi, 2026 prospect, 6 foot, 190 pounds, 3-star. Kind of looks like it's going to be between Auburn or Mississippi State, which Hugh Freeze being let go could change some things. So we'll see on that one.
Yeah, I saw Martavius Boswell's name pop up when I was looking at people who have kind of made their visits public. He's going to be there on the 28th with his teammates, Matt Mayfield and Jermaine Mitchell, who just flipped to Georgia. He's still on the books to sit there with two of his teammates. So even though he's gone, the door might not be closed just yet.
Yeah, and that was the other one I was going to bring out was Jermaine Mitchell. Hey, it sucks losing a guy like that, number one offensive lineman in the JUCO ranks. With that being said, you lost him to Georgia at least. So at least you can, feel at least somewhat better because it was Georgia. Hey, maybe you can beat Georgia this week and get it back. Get his commitment back.
Yeah, that's how that works. You beat him, you get to pick one commitment that has to flip to you. No.
I wish that was how it works. Actually, no, I don't because we've lost 4 games this year.
Yeah, let's not do that. We're not going to bring that in. Another name that I saw pop up that I've not heard anything about before, another visit supposed to be there on November 27th, Assad Chapman. He's a corner from San Bernardino Valley College. I mean, I haven't heard anything about them recruiting him. I just he showed up on the visit list. Another big corner, 6'3", 190. That seems to be kind of the body type Hutzler's targeting is the bigger corners.
Yeah, he's one of the top JUCO corners, holds several Power 4 offers, but has said that he's focused on Mississippi State, North Carolina, and UTSA. Already officially visited UTSA. Yeah, and then he will visit North Carolina November 22nd. And then, obviously, as you mentioned, for the Egg Bowl, he'll come back for Mississippi State. But, yeah, he has an older brother, I will say, that plays for UTSA. So that might factor in there.
That explains that more.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go recruit him and get them.
Yeah, get him to transfer over. But unless he just wants to go play with his brother, that's a recruitment you should be able to win.
Yeah, it should be able to. All you got to do is point to the dysfunction in Chapel Bill right now, and that should be an easy one to win. But, hey, I know Traylor can recruit, so that one might be a tough one, even though on paper UTSA versus Mississippi State is not it's not a real competition. Traylor is very good at building relationships, and that along with possibly getting to play with your older brother, that might be a lot to overcome.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, he's a very big corner at 6'3", Kelly Jones type guy. But he is coming from JUCO, but he's a freshman this year, so he should come in with 3 years of eligibility. Hey, actually, if that 5-year rule passes, maybe he'll come in with 4 years.
Maybe 4, depending on if the JUCO rule that they have for Pavia still exists.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
I'm not really sure anymore. I was kind of looking at the defense today, trying to figure out who all would be back. And it's like, well, that guy maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one maybe. I don't know. We're still in that world, and I don't like it. I want to know who's coming back.
Yeah, I am too. I want to know all that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we're winding down on the season, so now you're going to start getting your last official visits start coming in for the 2026 class. I expect them to start ramping up a little bit on the 2027 class as well, but they want to first tie the bow on the 2026 class, so they're going to finish some of those off because, signing day is, around the corner.
Coming up fast.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, it sneaks up on me every year when they added, the early signing day is always just out of nowhere. It's just I'm sitting there and then, oh, hey, look, these guys are now official and you can't just flip them anymore. I mean, they honestly still also just one last thing. 24/7 still has the predictions to commit to Mississippi State for Shawn Church Jr. I don't know what's going on there. It seems like maybe he's just kind of like the safety net guy if all these other guys they're targeting fall through. But it's kind of weird that he's still getting projection when we're not really getting anything about them actively recruiting him, like a hard push at this point. So it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And another thing I want to see is now that you've had all these openings, what players start popping up that you didn't originally think you had a chance for. Auburn just opened up. You maybe didn't think you had any chances with those guys. Now maybe that opens up a little more. So it'll be interesting to see if they start picking out some of these guys, especially if they start striking out on some of the guys that they were pushing for hard. So, yeah, it remains to be seen. But, all right, well, thanks for making Locked On Mississippi State your first listen today. For your second listen, check out Locked On SEC. Chris Gordy breaks down the best conference in college sports, from the rivalries to the championship and every game in between. Find Locked On SEC on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Jaron. Check out my work over at Athlon Sports. That's Landon. Follow us, Locked On Mississippi State. We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We post daily videos Monday through Friday. So check those out. We'll also have our pre- and post-game show or videos on Saturday. So don't miss that. But until next time, Hail State.
Hail State.